everyone. I'm Christina Wilson. You probably know me best as one of the sacrament coordinators for Eucharist and Reconciliation programs, along with my friend Anthony Howell. If not, you certainly have seen my children, Samantha and Parker, around.
Hi.
As Father said in his homily Palm Sunday, we need to gather some symbols to prepare for Holy Thursday, when we recall the Last Supper and when Jesus washed the feet of his apostles. In our Eucharist program, we make a very simple bread recipe, which Sammy and Parker will be showing us. But before we start putting the ingredients together, I'd like to go over some of the ingredients. First is wheat. Unless a grain of wheat falls to the earth, it remains a grain of wheat. Wheat needs soil,
sun, and water
to grow. We all grow in faith, just like the wheat. Then we have flour. The wheat is crushed to make flour. Soon it will be Good Friday, and we will walk with Jesus, who gave up his life. It too was crushed because of Jesus' love for us. Sometimes we are able to do very difficult things out of love, just like we are now. We're keeping each other safe by remaining home and practicing social distancing. We need oil. Oil is needed in bread to make it moist. We know when celebrating the sacraments of baptism, anointing of the sick, and confirmation, during these sacred moments, we experience the strengthening, healing power of oil. Salt. Salt is needed in bread to give it flavor. God tells us that we are not to be bland people. We are the salt of the earth. During this time, we can be the salt of the earth by reaching out to people we love, praying for each other, and the world for healing. The need. The flour, oil, and salt need to be worked through our lives. God gently pushes and pulls on us. The hand of God works on us. God takes his time with us, just as it takes time to make bread. Lastly, the bread needs to be baked. Bread is baked and meant to be shared. We are bread for others, and Jesus is the bread of life for us all. Now, let's bake some bread. Samantha and Parker are going to put our ingredients together just in a simple plastic bag. For a very small loaf, we are using 1/2 cup of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 3/4 of a teaspoon of sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of shortening, and 1/4 cup of buttermilk. Or a little bit more if you need it to make it a little doughy. Now, I didn't have buttermilk at my house. And I know it's not essential that you go out if you don't have to. All I did was take 1 cup of milk and added 1 tablespoon of white vinegar to the milk and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. There's a bunch of different recipes online for buttermilk. Now, after the dough has been kneaded through the bag, you're going to pat it into a small loaf and put it on a baking sheet. We're going to bake the loaf at 375 degrees for 20 minutes. Okay, pat, pat, pat. Make it into a loaf and bake it. Once your bread is finished, you have these wonderful little loaves of bread. Save your bread for Holy Thursday as you gather around your kitchen table and recall the Last Supper. You can break it, share it with the people that you love, Have a very blessed Holy Week. We miss all of you and can't wait to see you soon.